Hello, and welcome to the Great North Gardener. Here you can find help in starting and creating a garden for your home. Now, if you're anything like me, you love a good gardening project. But sometimes our gardens have a little bit of a mind of their own. One minute everything is perfect, and the next, the soil is washing away. Don't worry, we've all been there. That's why today's video is all about tackling erosion. We're going to be going over 5 simple but super effective ways to keep your soil right where it belongs. Think of this as your how-to guide for fighting erosion with the power of plants. I'm talking about ground cover, mulch, terraces, retaining walls, and trees and shrubs. Each one is like a superhero in disguise, ready to save your garden from those pesky water woes. So, grab your wellies, your gardening gloves, and maybe a cuppa, and let's get started. Alright, let's kick things off with ground cover plants. These little guys are like a magic carpet for your garden, except instead of flying, they keep your soil from going anywhere. Ground cover plants are real team players, spreading out and creating a dense mat of roots and foliage that holds the soil together like a warm hug. Think of it like this: when rain hits bare soil, it's like a bunch of tiny little feet stomping all over it, and all that force can carry the soil away. But when you've got ground cover plants, the rain doesn't hit the soil directly. Instead, it hits the leaves and stems of the plants, which slows it down and gives it a chance to soak in gently. Now, when it comes to choosing your ground cover dream team, you've got options. Creeping thyme is a great one because it smells amazing, plus it's super hardy. Sedum is another good choice, especially if you're after something with a bit more color. It's got these beautiful succulent leaves and comes in different varieties, so you can find one that suits your style. And the best part, most ground cover plants are low maintenance and drought tolerant, which means less work for you. Just imagine a beautiful garden that practically takes care of itself. That's the power of ground cover, my friends. Next up, we're talking about mulch. And no, I don't mean the cheesy kind you get at the cinema. This mulch is all about giving your soil a protective hug. Think of it as a cozy blanket that keeps the soil warm in the winter, cool in the summer, and prevents it from drying out. But mulch does more than just regulate temperature. It's also a superhero when it comes to erosion control. That layer of mulch acts like a shield, protecting the soil from those heavy raindrops that can cause all sorts of trouble. Plus, as the mulch breaks down over time, it actually adds nutrients to the soil, so it's like feeding your garden while you're at it. Now, you might be thinking, Joe, what kind of mulch should I use? Well, you've got options here too. You could go for classic wood chips, which look great in a woodland setting. Or if you're after something a bit more rustic, bark chippings are a brilliant choice. And if you're feeling adventurous, you could even try cocoa bean hulls. They smell amazing, but fair warning, your dog might try to eat them. Whatever type of mulch you choose, make sure you apply a nice thick layer, about 2 to 3 inches deep. That way, you'll give your soil the ultimate protection it deserves. Now, if you've got a sloping garden, you know that erosion can be a real pain. But don't worry, we've got a solution for that too: terracing. It sounds fancy, but it's actually a really clever way to work with your garden's natural slope and prevent soil from washing away. Basically, terracing is all about creating a series of flat levels on a slope, kind of like steps. Each level acts as a barrier, slowing down the flow of water and giving it a chance to soak into the soil instead of rushing downhill. Now, building terraces might sound a bit daunting, but it doesn't have to be. You can start small, with just 1 or 2 levels, and see how it goes. There are loads of great resources online that can walk you through the process step by step, and trust me, the effort is worth it. Not only do terraces look amazing, adding a touch of drama to your garden, but they also create microclimates. That means you can grow different types of plants on each level, depending on their sunlight and drainage needs. So, terraces are both practical and stylish. Okay, let's talk about retaining walls. These guys are like the guardians of the garden, providing support and structure to slopes and preventing soil erosion. Think of them as the unsung heroes that hold everything together. Retaining walls are particularly useful if you've got a steep slope, or if you want to create different levels in your garden. They act as a barrier, holding back the soil and preventing it from collapsing. Plus, they can add a really cool design element to your outdoor space. Now, when it comes to materials, you've got a lot of choices. Natural stone walls look incredible and blend in beautifully with a rustic garden. If you're after a more modern vibe, concrete retaining walls are sleek and contemporary. And for a charming cottage garden feel, you can't go wrong with brick. The key is to choose a material that complements your garden's style and can withstand the pressure of the soil it's holding back. It's always a good idea to get advice from a professional if you're not sure which material is right for you or if you need help with the construction. Last but not least, let's talk about the power of trees and shrubs. These guys are like nature's anchors, stabilizing the soil with their extensive root systems. Think of them as the guardians of your garden, protecting it from the forces of erosion. Trees and shrubs work their magic by sending out a network of roots that spread deep into the ground, creating a strong foundation that holds the soil in place. This is especially important on slopes or in areas prone to heavy rainfall, where erosion is more likely to occur. But the benefits of trees and shrubs don't stop there. They also help to improve drainage by absorbing excess water, prevent soil compaction, and provide shade and shelter for other plants. Plus, they attract wildlife, adding life and movement to your garden. When choosing trees and shrubs for erosion control, it's important to consider the specific conditions in your garden. Some species are better suited to shady areas, while others prefer full sun. Do your research and select plants that will thrive in your climate and soil type. So, there you have it. 5 simple but super effective ways to prevent erosion in your garden. By implementing these techniques, you'll not only protect your precious topsoil, but also create a healthier and more resilient garden for years to come. Remember, a little effort goes a long way when it comes to gardening. By taking steps to prevent erosion, you're investing in the long-term health and beauty of your outdoor space. Tell us what you think in the comments, and like and subscribe. Happy gardening!